There are so many different items that you can craft in surviving 99 nights in the forest. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys every single thing you should craft and every single thing you shouldn't craft. Make sure you like and subscribe. So let's go into the map here. And in the first stage, you probably don't have anything unlocked except for the nearby houses here. And I don't think you even have the first kit unlocked, okay? So the first stage, what you want to do is you want to basically just go to the houses, get as many resources as possible. But in the crafting, you need the map. The map is the first thing you should do. You should get as much wood as possible, get your campfire to the next level, and then get the map. As soon as you get the campfire to the next level, get the map, and after the map, then you can go back to the campfire and get the campfire to level 3. And on the first day, even by yourself, you could actually get it to level 4. Even though it is a bit difficult, on the first day, you could do it. And also, here's a pro tip. On the first day, the deer actually won't attack you. I've heard that it just kind of like sits there and just stares at you if you're in the camp. So you can just go outside and get more resources. So that is what will happen on the first day. Now, let's go back in here. Now, after the first day, you should have a level 4 campfire at least. Preferably level 5, but level 4 campfire is fine. Wait, no, level 4, like onto level 4. It says like level 4 above the bar here. Anyhow, going back into here, next up, crafting bench number 2, that's crucial. And after that, you need the old bed, okay? The old bed will make it so that each day that happens, you get +1 counter. So normally one day happens, then you get 1 more day. But in this case, if I have a bed, then I get 2 days. And if I have 2 beds, then I have 3 days. But of course, these beds, they don't stack. You can only buy 1 bed for each crafting bench level. So level 2, you have 1 bed, and then so on and so forth. So you will see later on in the video, I'll explain. So now, I'm continuing with crafting bench number 2. Let's go one by one into each one of these categories. So sundial shows how much time is left in the day. Now that is not as crucial as you would think, because the thing is that with your day, even if it is nighttime, you can have like a flashlight available, and a flashlight will make it so that if the deer comes, the deer won't do anything to you because you have the flashlight to counter it. Because the deer, actually, if you shine the flashlight towards the deer, like so, the deer just kind of stays idle. And just, well, it doesn't run away most of the time, but it just stays idle. So that is one thing you gotta keep in mind. Now, moving on, the compass shows which direction you're facing in. So, for example, here on the right, it's showing I'm facing north, east, south, west. But the directions that it shows, it's not that relevant because I can just walk in a direction on the map and I'll know. So, it's not really that relevant. I wouldn't really recommend it. Oh, I am being hit by this guy here. I'm just gonna like hide behind here. I don't. Oh, wait, I'm actually dying. Okay, let's go on with the video. Bed, as I said, you gotta get the bed. And then the wood rain storage. Keeps wood dry when stored. So that is kind of crucial, but to some extent. So basically, how it works is that you want this thing either to store wood, but not really because you just kind of use the wood immediately. Either you grind it up here or you put it in the fire. You don't really want wood inside of the campfire here. You can just use a biofuel processor. So, the wood rain storage is mainly used for keeping cultists out, right? So some nights, there will be people that attack you, such as this night right here. And basically what you want to do is you want to just go here and build up these walls so then you can just hit them like so. Now, you can actually hit them. I think you can hit them through the wall. It's just a slightly weird angle, but you can hit them through the wall. And if you have these walls, you can set it up in such a way so that you can just hit them for free, be safe, and you can actually just AFK in here for days if need be. So the only thing you gotta keep in mind is your hunger. So I recommend you guys have these carrots set up and you're good. Now, moving on, the shelf. The shelf you can use also to keep things out, but the thing is that the shelf is not that reliable because the cultists, sometimes they can glitch through, they can shoot through. It's just not that worth it. I wouldn't recommend you building a shelf at all. It doesn't, like, storing items, you can literally just slap it on the floor just like this and you'll do alright. So now let's move on. Let's go to the bear trap. The bear trap is pretty situational because the bear trap, you can set on the ground to trap enemies. Now, the bear trap is not really that crucial. My team members, they didn't really use it in order to progress through the game. They just kind of winged it. So I wouldn't recommend you get the bear trap. It's not that crucial. If you want to really like kill enemies, just go ahead and get a ranged weapon like a rifle and just hit them. Now, crafting bench number 3. This is what you should be aiming for to move on to the next crafting bench, which, by the way, like the first phase was the level 1 crafting bench would be like the beginner phase. This would be like the intermediate phase. And then now let's move on to crafting bench number 3, which would mark the start of the advanced phase. Now, in the advanced phase, there's many different items that you can see here. As you can see, there's some different items. Now, the crock pot, you can use it to go combine different foods, and you can go and make stew. Now, stew will, I think, is like one of, if not the best food source in the game. But the only thing is that you don't really need a good food source, because a good food source doesn't really provide you with anything more other than just more hunger. So what you really just need is you just want to find any kind of food, like just rabbits or just wolves, and you can eat the steak as well. So the crock pot, I don't really recommend it unless you do have the cooking guy, the cook, the class cook. That would be better. Oh, what happened to my team? I don't know what happened. But next up, the boost pad gets you out of base faster. That's not really that relevant here. The yeah, you don't really need it. You kind of just walk out. You can also have some kind of like a you know what I'm talking about, some chilies. Oh, why am I just, my brain's not flowing. But yeah, moving on, biofuel processor can turn logs and meat into a fuel. This you kind of want, but not really. You could have it if you're struggling to actually get in the fuel, but you could just, you know, normally you just want to adventure, get your fuel canisters, oil barrels, and just slap those in. And you want to save your wood to actually put it in this, so you can use your wood to craft other things such as farm plots later into the game. Right? Now the torch, this really doesn't really have a use, or at least we haven't found a use, so don't buy that. The good bed is really good, heavily recommended. Again, you want to buy all the beds. It increases your day counter by 1. That's really good. The lightning rod, you could have one. Our team has one right here. Make it so that you don't get struck by lightning, so you can actually AFK. Because if you get really unlucky, you get struck by lightning like 5 times and then just die. Alright. Now, moving on, the crafting bench unlocks tier 4 of crafting. The crafting bench basically makes it so that you can just unlock the final few crafts, and this would mark the start of late game into the game. Alright, so now late game, this is where it starts. There's 4 different crafts you can make. Of course, the giant bed is the best thing that you can get here. That's the most important thing you need. And other than a giant bed, there's the oil drill, ammo crate, and teleporter. Now, the oil drill, you can use it to get oil for you periodically, which would be good for oil barrels, such as right here. There's the oil drill. The oil drill, you could, I recommend you guys get it later on into the game, or if you don't have a maxed out campfire yet, you definitely want that. Now, moving on to the ammo crate. Ammo crate I heavily recommend, especially if you're using things that require the ammo. This is very crucial. Now, oh, my teammate actually built a crock pot, so we're actually going to go ahead and cook something. Now, moving on, last but not least, we have the teleporter. Now, teleporter is not that crucial, but the only reason why I'd say you guys would want it is if you have trapped yourself in a base like this, you have walls all over, then if you have the teleporter, it can ensure that you can actually teleport out of your base and make it so that you're not trapped in your base.